Pledge allegiance, please. All stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right. We are, as I said, this is a budget workshop, as it were. And I think I see, based on everybody that's signed in, we have what looks like 4 members of the board here. And that may be a low number. I can't see everybody on my screen as to who is here. Monica, do you have who's here from our board?
I have yourself, Betty Ann, Jim, Kristen, and Jessica.
That's fine. Okay, so we've got more than enough. Tonight we've got 4 departments to go through, starting with recreation at 7 o'clock. So I will turn it over to Mary McNellis and go ahead. It's all yours.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. Hopefully everyone can hear me. The budget, I hope everyone has a packet in front of them. I'm just going to go down.
Excuse me one second, Mary.
Sure.
Anybody that's not talking, can you mute yourself, please, to eliminate background noise on your iPads or laptops or whatever? Because the less people, if people aren't talking, but they're not muted, background noise can come through. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Mary.
No problem, no problem. I'm going to start at the top. I'll touch on the line items that have increases or decreases, and then I'll kind of jump over some other stuff. So if it's not real relevant, I'm going to skip over it unless anyone has any questions. So starting at the top, salary director line, that's just your normal increase of a union increase of 2.5% or 2.49%. The next line item you're going to see is salary of our recreation services manager. This does have an increase in it of approximately 11.5%. This is due to a promotion that we're looking to make to an associate director of the department. The position will cover for the director, myself, when I'm not here. In my absence. And then also, in addition, the department is now handling the administrative function of the Parks Department. And this position, this associate direct position, will oversee the administrative function and the management of the parks administratively. So that's where that increase is coming from. Salary regular employees. This is an important line that I want to point out in the budget. This line item was reduced last year by $40,000, and this was due to the pandemic. If it had remained at the $80,000, you would be seeing a decrease in this line item of about 11.5%. The decrease is based on our summer camp starting a week earlier this year, and us saving approximately $9,700. That will be paid out of this year's budget, the 2021 budget. So that versus it's showing a 76% increase. That's just because the line had been reduced due to the pandemic. It would actually be a savings on that line item. Salary of the elderly services.
Excuse me.
Go back. Yep.
Mary?
Yep.
Just a question. I've got, so we're talking about going from a budget of 40 up to a budget of 70, and that's the 76% increase, right?
Yes, but that 40 bill was originally 80. Kurt, and during the pandemic, they reduced some of the line items down.
No, I get it. I just want to make sure
Yes.
that
Yes.
we're looking at the same mathematics.
Yes. 77.
And one of the things, while we're going through this, in the packet, I only have a couple of papers devoted to your department on community services.
Yeah.
Can you put together who's in that 70? And as far as the rates, how many people that represents for staff and what they're gonna do?
Sure, it's all my summer camp staff, my basketball staff, all of my part-time staff is what, and the majority of that is summer camp.
Whatever, just break it,
Sure. I already have it broken down. I'll send.
break it into programs, how many people and
Yep.
how much?
Sure, I'll send you
Okay,
over a
that's fine.
spreadsheet.
Thank you.
It's already done. I'll send you over.
I'll go back now.
Okay, no problem. The next line item is the elderly services manager position. As you all know, Lucy McConaughey, or many of you know, retired this past September. She was with us for a very long time. Great asset to the department. She is retired. We're looking to refill this position as of July 1. That position will go down to a step 1 in the union contract, which reduces that line item down by 20%. So that's where a decrease is coming through on that line item. The next line item, which is the community services assistant, you're seeing an increase in that line item as well. That line item, the increase is due to negotiations that are currently taking place with the union to reclassify this position, which are going to have an effect on this position, which I've been told. So I guess the job was not originally classified correctly. That's where that increase is coming from. Going down farther, all my other line items are all net zero. Our part-time driver staying exactly where he is at $17,000 a year. Our municipal agent, standard bus repairs and rugs that we clean once a year at $1,500. And everything else is pretty straightforward. There's no changes at all. With the overall, if you put that $80,000 back into my budget, we're coming, the COVID funds go back in, the budget comes in at a decrease of 1.5% is where we end up. So that's where we are. If anyone has any questions, I'm more than welcome to answer them.
Bill, I have a question. This is Jim.
Anyone on the board? Go ahead, Jim.
Bill, I have a question. Bill?
Go ahead.
They
Yeah,
recently
go
bought
ahead.
a new bus, right? They just bought a new bus, correct?
Yes.
I see the old one sitting there. Is that like a backup, or are they going to plan on getting rid of that, or?
No, right now I'm planning on keeping it. It's going to be used for smaller trips, smaller activities, as well as during the summer. We had multiple times when we had to go rent school buses for the summer camp so that we can transport our summer camp children from one location. So our plans right now are to keep both buses.
Well, I was just curious. They said that bus was in bad shape. That's why they had to get a new one, and they still kept it. I mean,
Well, it is.
wasn't it?
It is not in the best of shape, but it's fine for local around town. The other reason that we also purchased a new bus was we needed a larger bus that was more reliable for larger trips and longer trips. We were selling out all of our senior trips and we were having waiting lists, so we needed a larger bus. So it was two factors. The bus was older, as well as we needed a larger bus to accommodate the demand from our residents.
Well, as far as repairs, I don't know if you know that the town has like a shared services thing going on. You could probably have the town do some repairs for you. If that was,
Yep, they always do for me, yes.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay, that was it. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Anyone else? Chris, Betty Ann, anybody? Okay. Mary, if you want to go through the projected revenue page, that's in the
Sure.
packet also.
Sure.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, honestly, this is pre-pandemic, so that you know, I'm anticipating that we'll be back to normal. I sure am hoping we are. And it was also conservative. I will say it was a bit conservative, just not knowing what's going to happen. But very comfortable us being able to get back to normal. And really get up and running, especially for the budget year of July 1. Basketball, we estimate revenue of about 21,000. Our trips revenue comes in about 53,000. Our trips are an in and out line item, as you all know, so it's pretty much a wash. Senior center dues totaling about $3,200 in revenue. Our recreation summer camp, we anticipate our revenue being about 69,000. Senior luncheons come in about, excuse me, $4,000. And then senior sports and recreation sports coming in about 2,000 for a grand total of revenue of about 152.
Now, obviously, the revenue projection is pre-COVID, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing that you have adjustments prepared for things like summer camp and such. If it doesn't take off expenditure-wise and revenue-wise, both numbers should drop.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I think what we're going to see, as long as we continue our increase on vaccinations and so forth, I think our numbers, I think we are going to have a push on camp, in all honesty. But yes, they will be adjusted at revenue and expenditure if for some reason, we take a strange turn. I hope we don't, but they'll be adjusted. Just as our numbers this year, you could tell by our budget, are adjusted due to what we've been doing.
Okay. Any other questions for Mary on her department at all? Okay, well, hearing none, as I've told other departments, once we start getting into the deliberation side of this and talking about numbers and things, it's possible and probable that we're going to reach out to different departments to have them come back, because we have questions that obviously you all that know your departments can answer, and we all who are on the outside looking in, we want to get it straight from the horse's mouth in terms of different information if we need it. But for now, thank you, Mary.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, stay safe. All right. Next up is our library. So Suzanne, are you going to be leading the charge on this?
Yes,
one?
I will. Thank you for entertaining us and having us here tonight.
Well, we like company, so that's part of the reason.
So we have, we're not asking for any increases from last year. We have the director salary, the regular employee salary. That's going to be determined by the union contracts. So that would be up to you. We're not asking for our library page line again. We did lose the library pages in March with the pandemic. We're still asking for 12,000. That's for 3 pages that come in and put the books on the shelves, do some covering of books, do light repair of books, and do the dusting in the library. We did eliminate the line item for the purchase services adult education. We're asking for 5,000 for books and periodicals. And that usually, we usually spend about 2,000 on periodicals for that, and then the rest goes into books. Machinery and equipment, that 4,120 is paying for our copier. The machinery and equipment technology is our bibliomation bill, which is 31,000. And that's what we're asking for.
So the only item that's not here is director's salary.
Director's salary and the regular employees. We have, at this point, we have 4 regular employees. 1 employee did retire, but we do want that replaced if that can work out.
Well, in order for us to get complete information, I would ask you to go back and take this sheet and add director's salary on it and add the other salaries on it? Because obviously the library is a far bigger budget than $52,000.
Yes.
We need to see the whole thing.
Okay,
We
I'll
can't-
talk
we
to the
can't make a
union about that.
decision,
Thank you.
Whoever, but even if it's a matter of putting in last year's numbers,
Okay,
that's fine. At least it gives us some sort of an idea. Doug, can you fill in also? I need the actuals filled in for both of those salary line items to have them show up on this printout that we have. Because otherwise we don't know much. And also I would ask, as in prior years, you've always given us a budget in terms of what the trustees are going to pay for, in terms of books and
I can-
funeral and whatever.
I can send that to you.
Yeah, I would like to get that also, just as you've done in past years, to show
Sure.
who's putting in how much and for what.
Okay,
Okay, so we're gonna expect from if you can give those numbers, Suzanne, to Doug, and Doug, if you can update this page and get it out to all of us, that would be most helpful, because right now we can't make a decision on the library. We don't have enough numbers.
thank you. And do you have any other questions? We have the statistics here, which we can give you as well.
Yeah, no, I'll take whatever you have in terms of statistics and circulation and visitors to the whatever you may have. If you can get that information over to Doug, and then he can get the salary information so he can update the page, then he can get it over to us, and we will have a complete library
Okay,
package.
I'll get that to you tomorrow.
We can. That's fine.
We did also take a hit in our statistics because of the closure in March. So the statistics
I'm sure.
different. Yeah.
No, I'm sure you did, and everybody that unfortunately has to involve human beings, everybody's taking a hit, and we understand that, and we're all hoping that this whole thing goes away and it becomes a bad memory.
Yes, we are. Thank you.
Other than that, yeah. If you can get all of the other information over to Doug. Doug, I'll expect you to update the numbers, and we'll see what the library it's in and of itself looks like.
Thank you very
Any
much.
questions for the library while we have them here with us? Anybody?
Hi, can I just make a comment?
Sure. Yeah, go
Hey,
ahead.
Bill, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see everybody here, actually. Just with regards to the $5,000 for books and periodicals from the town, in a discussion with Anne Marie, we have approximately 20,000 people in the town. This is a budget allocation of 25 cents per resident. Okay, that's
Doesn't seem like a lot of money when you break it down that way.
well, that's what it comes out to be. So.
Okay. No. Yeah. No, that duly noted.
Okay, so
Is there
the way-
anything here that you haven't put in that you wanted to put in but you didn't put in for whatever reason?
Well, one of the discussions we had today, Bill, was Suzanne had let me know that the budget for natural gas, the bills that we've gotten in have basically almost tripled for the last month. And I have confusion on that because I don't understand why, with the reduced hours that we're on and the new heaters and air conditioning system was supposed to save us money. I know that I can't say much more than that because I'm assuming we're still in litigation with regards to the people who installed the equipment, but we're getting banged big time for natural gas, and that's gone up significantly from approximately $600. We're up to like $1,300 and $1,400 a month, and I don't understand why. So we're going to take a look at that. and see what we can figure out.
Okay. And I'm sure if anything the town can do to help you out figuring stuff out, obviously just reach out to them, I would think.
Well, Suzanne has reached out to
Okay.
Connor, so we'll see what we can come up with.
All right. No, that's a good plan. All right. Anything else regarding the library on anything?
One of the discussions,
If in that yep.
just FYI, we had,
No, go ahead.
the board of directors had paid for the new carpeting in the children's room. And we had discussion with Tony Caserta with regards to, we had spent over $9,000 on that. And we have been looking for either painting service or some type of money to be able to paint because we're in dire need of paint. And this has been going on for a while now, and I still have not heard from him as to whether or not there's any possibility to get help from the town on this, because the maintenance of the building is critical, and there's a lot of areas in the library that are falling apart because it has not been painted in a long time. So Suzanne has gotten grants with regards to updating electrical outlets throughout the library. That's currently underway. The state of Connecticut grants have done a lot to enhance the library, and we'd like to keep whatever we can going for momentum. That's it. I promise.
Okay. Doug, are you on the call? I think you are.
Yes.
Can you please get together with Paula? I mean, if they're trying to work something out and get information from the town in terms of any available money to help them, obviously we got to have some sort of decision made or some discussion. And I know everybody's busy, but can you work with Paula and maybe get hold of Tony so the three of you can sit down and see what's available, if anything?
Okay.
Okay, that'll be great. Doug, I'll give you a call.
All right. And Paul.
Yep.
Yeah. And Paul, let me know how you make out.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Okay. Anything else? No problem. Anything else for the library at all?
No.
Okay, everybody's quiet, so I guess there's no questions.
Thank you very much.
In that regard, thank you. And as I said to Community Services, if there's other questions, we will certainly reach back to you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And let's see. Next on our list for this evening is the tax collector. So Dana, I saw you had signed on before.
I'm still here.
So I'm
If you can hear
guessing
me.
you didn't hang up and you're still here.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
You're on. Oh, no, we can hear you fine.
Okay.
You're on.
Okay.
Yes.
The salary
We can.
is by contract. Salary is by contract. The salary for the employee, they are up for negotiations with their contract, so we don't know what that will be. So I left it the same as it was this year. But we also have no employee there at the moment. By July 1st, we will, and that she'll start at step one. So there'll be a decrease, a little bit of savings in that account. But I did leave it at the full amount that it was. Everything else stayed the same. The education and meetings and the seminars, I kept it at $1,000. We have now, I have not used it in the past, the education and meetings and seminars as we've budgeted for, but we have to start to use them now because we are now being required by the state to be recertified. For recertification, it's 50 credits we have to have within a 5-year period. And I will be up by next December, so I'm trying to take as much classes as I can that they offer between now and then. They're not giving us as much time to doing it that they should have technically, but it is what it is. We'll work with it. Pardon?
Let me ask you the question. Is $1,000 enough?
It probably will be, but we might want to increase, just to give heads up, if
Okay.
whoever we hire for July, it depends on if they're certified or not, if they've taken the classes, because if they haven't taken the classes, then we will need money in there, and then we'll have to shuffle it, or, I'll have to ask for a transfer or come to see you. But we'll try to stay where we're at the best we can.
One of the, just for information, obviously for the new employee, you had said they're going to start at step 1, which is lower than what's here. You just kept the numbers the same this year, last year.
I kept it.
A ballpark of how much less this would be?
I can get that to you. Copy of step 1. I can get that to you, like I said, and they're up for negotiation.
If you could pass it to Doug, because.
Yep. Yep.
No, understood. But if we can get, a little better ballpark, maybe that's something between that line and education.
We can
move
switch
some
it,
stuff
yes.
around without increasing anything.
Okay, because I'll do it as step 1, and then in 6 months they get another step each thing, and do it that way. I'll show Doug the thing. But like I said, and we don't know where that stands because they're in.
Whatever.
Okay. All right. So then we got.
Yeah, I mean, just base it on as if it happened today. That's all.
Okay. All right. Okay. No problem. The other purchase services we did have. I'm keeping still the same. I still think we can live with it. We did have a little bit of increase from quality data. And with the statements we've managed so far to doing it. So I think, it'll be close, but I think we'll be okay without increasing it. The communications and phone, that's been like that. The travel is still the same. That may have to increase. I don't know if that will increase, or depends on the classes, if they're offered or if they're Zoomed through the Zoom meeting. So we'll just leave it like that. Like if we have to come back or do a transfer, we can do that. If that's all right. No? Okay, and then general supplies, I left the same.
I couldn't find the mute button, but no, that'll be fine, what you said.
Okay. So, and then general supplies, I still kept the same because I think we increased it either last year or the year before, and that's working out fine, even though postage is going up slightly. It just went up for this January. On January 1st, it went up a penny, but I think we've stayed within our budget and stuff. So I think if we keep it tight and just keep an eye on it, I try to save wherever I can on everything. And that should be basically it, unless you have other questions.
That sounds.
I mean, collections seem to be okay.
No, I'll turn it over to.
Okay.
Go ahead. Looks like she's having a little audio issue from what I see on my screen.
Cool. Me?
I don't know if, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Dana?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, no, everything is pretty straightforward. Does anyone on our board have any questions for the tax collector? At all?
I have no questions, Bill.
Okay. Dana, you started talking about collections.
The collections
Thanks,
seem to
Jeff.
be okay.
They
were
mentioned
ahead.
something about collections.
They were running ahead. Right now, they're running a little bit behind, but I won't know best until the end of the month or the beginning of March because of the January, February overlap.
Okay,
It should be okay. I sent out 2,200 statements
okay,
for delinquency. And I demanded like 80 people this time, which we haven't demanded all year with the COVID and stuff like that. But there were some that I thought that we needed to address. So hopefully we will, see some activity. And some older real estate ones have gotten caught up with and paid. So that was good. There's a few delinquent ones that were like from 16 lists and 17 lists that have got that are going to be paying this year. So. Before June, so that'll help us too.
okay. All right, well, that's your department and you do well at it, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All righty. I guess there are no questions for the tax collector, so in that regard, thanks for coming, and if we do have any questions, we know where to find you, and if you can get those numbers a little bit tweaked and get them over to Doug to
Yep.
give to us, that would be appreciated.
No problem. I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Last on our list. Thanks, Dana.
You're welcome.
Last on our list tonight is the town clerk.
Hi,
Oh, hi, Leanna. I was wondering where you were. Couldn't see you.
it's okay. I was hiding.
Okay.
Okay, so I didn't change anything besides the salaries. Obviously those are contractual, so I put, as previously mentioned, the regular employees' contract has not been agreed upon yet, so I just kept what this year's salary was, and then mine, I just went by what the contract says,
Okay.
but everything else is the same.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Well,
We-
sometimes no change is a good thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've been within our budget, so
Well, that's much appreciated on behalf of the townspeople.
yeah,
Okay. I mean, it's fairly straightforward.
Right.
In that regard, the printing and binding is obviously the big number.
right, yeah.
That's land records and all.
Yes, yep, that's for the land records, all the book paper,
Oh,
I'm trying to think of, all the books that
no,
we
go ahead.
put records in.
Okay.
Is there any other?
Any questions for the town clerk at all on anything?
No?
Wow, this is a quiet group.
Yeah.
I have no questions,
right.
Bill.
And I have no questions,
Thank
Bill.
you, Jim. All right. In that case, for tonight, we're done. Thank you for coming in, Leanna.
Thank you.
And we don't get together until a week from tonight. There's nothing going on Monday because of the holiday. So in that regard, we'll see everybody back here Wednesday night at 7:00. Thanks.
Thank you all for presenting.
Take care, everybody. Stay safe and stay warm.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks.
You too, Bill.
Take
You
care.
too.
Bye, guys.